And we are back here on Couch Coach Live, another Wednesday night edition here under the lights here on Couch Coach Live. We got a special guest. We got our guy Marcus from WBCW Sports and Ram City Recap. What's going on, man? How you doing?
It's going pretty good. You know, school started up yesterday, so I'm starting to get back into the groove of things. But, you know, I'm super happy to be on here with y'all.
Yeah, man, always great to catch with you, especially even in what I deem as the off season. Obviously, with what you do, you and Ben with VCU basketball. So always good to catch you guys on an off season. Definitely here as we get ready to head into the basketball season. So it's cool to kind of link up right before the season starts. So So what's going on, X? What's going on, Mal? How y'all fellas doing?
Man, doing good. Glad to be back. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? How everybody doing? I just want to give props to my other two opinionated gentlemen when it comes to the NFL. If you paid attention to a lot of things that's going on, remember we talked about Richardson with the Colts. Look what's going on there. We all predicted that, and I think Coach gave one of the best explanation based upon what the Browns are doing with Shador. And I just want to give him a compliment. I had never heard somebody break it down the way he did. So hopefully you guys can go back, you couch coaches, go back and watch that, because that was genius. You know what I mean? He broke it down to the T of why they're doing what they're doing. And I believe it. That's exactly what they're doing. But anyway, it's good to be back. Good to see you back, Ed.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so that was last week's episode. You can check out. We did the NFC and AFC and NFC North preview. Mm-hmm. So now we saved the best for the last. In my personal opinion, we're going to be talking about the NFC East and the NFC East, and of course, we have Marcus here. He's a repping the Bills Mafia. Is that is that Doug Flutie jersey?
This is a Taron Johnson jersey.
Oh, Taron Johnson. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Best nickel corner in the league.
The 7, I like. Yeah.
I've got a Von Miller jersey and a Josh Allen jersey in my closet. So. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. I might have to give me a Von Miller jersey as well now.
You can borrow mine for the season, Coach.
Hey, you know what?
Oh, they're going to get along well.
Remind me. Yeah. remind me during the scrimmage.
Yeah, I got
that Von Miller jersey from you.
Yeah.
I might have to squeeze into it, but hey, I'll make it work. I'll drop a few LBs before at least for the scrimmage or the first game of the season. So we'll see how they go. All right, so let's talk about the NFC and the AFC East. So that is the Buffalo Bills, the Miami Dolphins, New England Patriots, and the New York Jets. Then we also have the Dallas Cowboys, the New York Giants, Washington Commanders, and Philadelphia Eagles. So first off, we'll go around the horn, fellas. We'll talk about the AFC East. So we're going to have one storyline to watch for each individual team. So pretty much what are your individual storylines for all 4 teams of the AFC East? Since we have a member of a distinguished Bill Mafia here, we'll start first with you, Marcus. What are your storylines to watch for each team in the NFC, the AFC East?
That's a really great question because there's a lot going on around the AFC East. It's more, storylines that aren't quite making the news cycle every week, because there's not really any new quarterbacks. There's not too many like new key positions. Like a lot of teams really have their guy for the season. Like even the Jets have Justin Fields right now, who he's not who I would want to play for my favorite team, but for the Bills, it's definitely just going to be like, how does the secondary show up? Because if you watch that Bears preseason game, which I didn't even watch all of it because it got so bad, it's really just Taylor Rapp right now, and whoever really wants to show up next to him on Sundays. Damar Hamlin, I'm a big fan of his. I don't like the idea of he wouldn't be on the team if he didn't die, but he's a great football player, but he's not really a starter at this point. Cole Bishop, not really either. So they're really looking for that, strong safety position that Micah Hyde left open 2 years ago when they cut him. So for them, I'd say, like, how is that secondary going to show up? Because even the corners they could definitely be better. We've got a rookie, Max Hairston, who hasn't played in a preseason game yet. Tre'Davious White is coming off of 2 injuries. So really just how that secondary is really going to hold up. That was the problem against the Chiefs last year in the AFC Championship. Kyer Elam had to come in because there were so many injuries, and he just got blown by Xavier Worthy on like every single play. So it's really just going to come down to that. The Patriots, how is Drake May going to do in year 2 is really just the only thing you can really say. The offense didn't get much better. The defense, in my opinion, didn't get much better either. Maybe some, positional changes here and there. Maybe they got better marginally, but I wouldn't say that did any changes to really push themselves forward. So how Drake May performs with Stephon Diggs, and I think he's like 32 at this point. They've got Kayshon Boutte, Jalen Polk. I can't remember this guy's name, undrafted free agent, but he's been like absolutely performing in the preseason. And then obviously Travion Henderson's been doing great. So, and then on the defensive side, I don't really know. So I just really make sure Drake May, I think he's going to be a great quarterback in this league for a while. If he can make that extra step in year 2, they can really maybe not be playoff contenders, but maybe, compete for games within the division. The Jets, you just got to look at their new head coach. I can't remember his name at the moment. Old D coordinator for the Lions. Aaron Glenn. Yes.
Aaron Glenn.
Yeah, if Aaron Glenn, if there's anyone that can turn that team around, it's Aaron Glenn. But, maybe even not him. I'm gonna the Jets are they're kind of too far gone. Their defense is Sauce Gardner. They've got Aaron Glenn is obviously a defensive-minded coach. The last defensive-minded coach they went for is now back as the defensive coordinator for the Niners in Ahmed Salah. So I don't know why they didn't try something new, but Aaron Glenn was an incredible D coordinator for the Lions, so I really am looking forward. As much as I don't like the Jets, honestly, I am really looking forward to see how he can kind of get that team maybe back into relevance. But I don't really think they've been relevant at all on my 20 years on Earth. So I'd like to see the Jets do something. And then the Dolphins, I don't think I could tell you a single thing going on in the Dolphins organization right now. They're almost irrelevant. All I know is that Tyreek Hill has been going on to Twitch streams and just talking trash for no reason. I maybe if I were to say a storyline, I think Mike McDaniel is really on the hot seat as much as we might not want to admit it. They've gone to the playoffs once, maybe twice in his tenure with the Dolphins. They have never won the division with the Dolphins. He's never won the division. They did not have a winning season. That doesn't help that Tua's in and out of the hospital, but I think Mike McDaniel's really on the hot seat. So that's the storyline that I'm looking out for on the Dolphins.
All right, Mel, what's your storylines for the AFC East?
I'm gonna start where he left off. I put the Miami Dolphins. Are they going to stay healthy? Bottom line is, if Tua is not going to be healthy, they're not going to do well. You know what I mean? And then I just don't think they're as physical as a lot of the other teams in that division. I think they're fast, but that's part of the reason why they stay so unhealthy. But yes, same thing. But I'll talk about that later. I'm gonna go to the Patriots. I put his same thing. Dave is with Drake May. Stay on the success with the new improvements with the new coach. Definitely hope Will's own Trayvon Henderson and Stephon Diggs. Like you said, I don't know much that they've added on to it, but with this new coach, I feel like sometimes what I remember about the Patriots, sometimes they will make something out of nothing, and they will compete. And sometimes when they compete, they get very, very physical. And that's why I feel in this division, I feel like whoever's the most physical one might actually make it out. So I'm gonna keep going. So the storyline basically is, I'm saying, is will Drake May be able to keep moving forward with this new coach? The next one, I got the Jets. And when I looked at it, they basically got the storyline is, for me, is them moving forward, building for the future. Is it going to hurt them? Because they basically got rid of all their veterans. Like they signed basically Justin Fields for a 3-year deal. And so to me, it's like if he was, it's 2 years, right? My bad, it's 2 years. So basically, to me, if he don't do well this year, they most likely gonna get rid of him next year. Am I tripping on that? Don't that make sense? Anybody?
That
Right.
makes sense.
You know what I mean? So like, but they signed let me see, Sherwood to a 3-year deal. They signed new coach Aaron Glenn, defense Steve Wilkes, an extension of Gardner and Garrett Wilson. I just think, and Garrett, like those are 4-year, 5-year, or 4-year and 5-year deals. So you could completely tell they're moving forward for a young generation. So let me see. Then I'm gonna go to my Bills, and I didn't know we was gonna have a Bills player on this, so I'm not gonna talk bad about Josh Allen like we did a couple weeks ago. X, what are you clubbing your mouth for? Why you just gonna leave me out there? Just kidding. So I mean, I think sometimes I want to do some things. So my thing is, I'm happy you're on here. My storyline is, will Josh Allen keep his success without having a true number one? So that's my storyline for that, because he has great running backs in James Cook and Davis, Frank Gore Jr. And from what I was looking up, I really didn't get no major information. Maybe you can help me with that. I seen you got Coleman, Elijah Moore, even Shakur, and they said that Joshua Palmer was doing well too to move forward. But I just feel like, I think that's always been the issue too, where like he had Diggs, some of the receivers was bothered because he just has done well without a true number one. You know what I mean? Or it's ever since Diggs left. So that's my four storylines.
Yeah. I just I just want to say, like, with Keon Coleman, I think we'll definitely see him step up into like more of like a 1A position. Not quite, he's a true wide receiver one like Stephon Diggs was when he was there. But that's kind of almost the beauty, in my opinion, of the Buffalo Bills offense, is that they can succeed without having like a true guy that can go up and beat 100 guys one-on-one. Because if you have to worry about 3 different guys, one of them's going to be open.
Right.
So.
And X,
that's all.
Your your storyline for each team. What you got, X?
Well, for Buffalo, it's going to be plain and simple. Can they get over the hump in the playoffs? Can they finally take that leap to put them in the Super Bowl? Well, maybe, and another thing, can they beat the Chiefs if they match up again in the playoffs? Can they get that monkey off their back, and can they also make the leap and get to the Super Bowl. That's my storyline for Buffalo. For Miami, it's a couple things. Marcus and Maui both touched on it. It's the Tyreek Hill situation. Will Tyreek Hill finish the season as a Miami Dolphin? Will Tua stay healthy for majority of the season? Mike McDaniel is on the hot seat. And can Miami win a game in cold weather? That's all I need to know. Can they win a cold weather game? Because, once you get to November, December, maybe even the end of October, when you go to Buffalo, to the Jets, and in New England, it gets cold. Can you win those type of games? Because if you don't win the division, you're going on the road in the playoffs, and it's going to be cold if you're not playing in the dome. So that's my storyline for the Dolphins. For the Jets, it's the start of the Aaron Glenn era, and I feel like that is my guy. He is a former DC for the Detroit Lions. That's my guy. So I'm wishing him all the success. The Justin Fields at quarterback, I feel like it's either hit or miss because we've seen him. Matter of fact, we seen him last year with Pittsburgh. He started off 4-2. They pulled him. They put Russ in, and then we seen him also with Chicago where he struggled. It's like he couldn't grasp the offense or the speed of the NFL for some reason. And for the Patriots, it would be can Mike Vrabel restore New England's prestige? Because we've seen them after Tom Brady's first year, they made the playoffs. They went 10-7, made the playoffs, but after that, it's like they just tailed off and became one of the worst teams in the NFL. I feel like Mike Vrabel will have these guys ready to play. I feel like Drake May is not going to have a sophomore slump. I like the kid, Antonio Henderson. I feel like he's going to help bolster that offense. And I feel like Drake May is what I feel like they went wrong with Mac Jones. They went wrong when they tried to do Matt Patricia and who's the other guy they had calling plays?
Joe Judge.
You set him up. You set him up for failure, and I feel like that decision cost Bill Belichick his job. So now you got a new regime, man. So I feel like Mike Vrabel is going to steer the Patriots back to prominence. I'm not going to say they're going to run off 20 straight AFC championships. It is AFC East championships is going to be impossible because you still got that guy in Buffalo. So can I see them as being the second best team in the AFC East? Yes, I can see them being the second best team in AFC East.
I think for me, for New England, like you said, the Mike Vrabel era, he preaches effort and finish. I definitely think what they did with the offensive line to help Drake May is going to be phenomenal. Obviously, drafting Will Campbell and then also Morgan Moses to kind of show up that left and right tackle spot. So I definitely like what they're doing. The Jets, as you mentioned, has Justin Fields found his home? I think this could be a situation where hopefully this could be a permanent stop, not necessarily permanent, but at least a 4 or 5 year, at least to the max type of move for him where he can actually be in the system and be somewhere consistent. Obviously, he's reunited with Garrett Wilson, so hopefully that dynamic will kind of help his development as well. And like you said, the whole thing with Aaron Glenn, like you said, the prodigal son kind of come home. Obviously, he was drafted by the Jets. Now he comes home to coach the Jets. Buffalo, and a lot of it, I know it is true, like as far as the Super Bowl or bust. But I think one thing that one of the most iconic stadiums will say its final goodbye. So this is the last dance at Highmark. This is one of the most prestigious, nostalgic type of arenas, football fields in this in the NFL. Hosted so many events. So this is the last year Highmark. They go to a nice, beautiful stadium right steps away from where they currently at. So that's going to be really interesting of what's going to happen in that final year at that stadium. And then Miami, this pretty much is going to be a season on the brink for them. Like we mentioned, everybody, where, last year, 8-9, the expectation for them, they have to make the playoffs. I think if they don't make the playoffs, like we said, if you look at some of the coaches in the NFL as far as who has like on a hot seat, he's probably has one of the hottest seats in the NFL at this point with Mike McDaniels, because at this point, you got to get in the playoffs. And like you said, I don't even think it's just not necessarily just making it to the playoffs, but maybe potentially winning the division, hosting a playoff game instead of going somewhere like maybe like Kansas City or maybe Cincinnati, Baltimore, or whatever, or wild card weekend. So or even Buffalo. So like it's a season on the brink for Miami. This is a very critical year for them, and I definitely think if it's what many people envision, or even like what happened last year, there will be some sweeping changes in Miami for sure. So we gotta look at some of the players to watch in this AFC East. So we'll go around the horn. Who is your player to watch in the AFC from the offense, and then what is your player to watch on defense? I'm gonna go with you first. X, what you got?
For my player to watch, I'm gonna go with offensively. I'm gonna go with Justin Fields, because I just got to see what can he do. Has he shown improvement from his time in Chicago to his one stop in Pittsburgh and to now his new home with the Jets? Because it's kind of like his situation is almost like similar to the Anthony Richardson situation. It's kind of almost like a make it break it. If he does not perform, Maui, how many years was that contract he had with the Jets? You said
it's 2.
Okay, if he does not perform to the best of his abilities in these 2 years, maybe within this season, he could find himself as a career backup when he has all the potential of being a game changer. It's just certain tools he has to work on. And my defensive player to watch, we doing defense too, Coach, right? Just offense right now?
No, offense and defense. Yeah.
Okay, my defensive player to watch. I will say it's going to be Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with you first. Marcus. What you got?
So I was going to touch on Justin Fields. I was going to say him, but I want to, come up with something different. To touch on that, though, Justin Fields, in my opinion, is like the general manager's dream. Like, he's the perfect quarterback. He's got the legs. He's got the accuracy. He's got the arm power. He just can't read a defense, and that's the only reason we're not seeing Chicago in the playoffs, is because he would have 2 or 3 open guys in Chicago and decide to tuck the ball and run. And so it's if he can get his decision making up, I do think that the Jets can, maybe start to succeed. But I'll start on defense, and I don't want to sound like a homer every time I bring up, one of these things, but I think Greg Rousseau is really my defensive player to watch in the AFC East this year. He's not quite a make it or break it kind of year, but I know that in Buffalo, we've been looking for him to kind of have a breakout season for 2 or 3 years now. We thought that Von Miller was really going to be able to come in and help him out, and we all know how that ended up. But he's a 6'7", like behemoth, fast, quick, not just fast but quick. He can get to the quarterback. He can hit people hard, but he just hasn't really been able to, have that 10 plus, 15 plus sack season that we've been looking for him, for him to have. So I'm looking at him. He's going to have Joey Bosa on the other side, AJ Epinesa, Landon Jackson as the rookie coming out of Arkansas. So I think, all those kinds of different styles of play are going to really hopefully boost him forwards. I think Greg Rousseau is the player to watch in the AFC East on the defensive side of the ball. And then on offense, I'm looking at Miami and Devon Achane. I think he could be one of the premier backs in the league. I don't know if he's definitely not top 5 yet, but he's quick. He can get around people. He's agile. He can do what he needs to do to get in the end zone. But he's kind of been held back by he was kind of like a 1A, 1B with I can never remember his name.
Mostert.
Yes, Raheem Mostert. He was kind of Raheem Mostert led the league in rushing touchdowns a couple of years ago, while Devon Achane was kind of sitting at a backup position. Devon Achane would get them down the field, and Mostert would, punch his way in. And so I think we could really see if the Dolphins can kind of get out of their own way, obviously, they have a whole lot of shenanigans going on that there's nothing that they can do. But if they can get out of their own way and let this kid do what he needs to do, I think he will be a very successful running back. So, yeah.
And Mal, who's your offensive and defensive players watching the AFC East?
Well, I'm not going to lie. Mine is Justin Fields. My excuse, I'm going to say, because he just left the Steelers and that's my team. I like Justin Fields even when he was with the Bears and we played against him. And you could just see and look at him there's so much potential there. I think you spot on. You said he needs to learn how to read defenses. And I think he was blessed to be able to play behind Russ. And I think Russ is one of the most ultimate professionals. He knows how to be a star. He has everything. He knows how to be criticized and taken on the chin. He's all of those different things. You know what I mean? And I'm sure, and I'm hoping that he got behind Russ, and Russ is like, man, your biggest thing is your legs. If you could read the defense, look at Patrick Mahomes. His biggest thing at one time was his legs too. I watched every AFC Championship Super Bowl that he played in. He always hurt. And then all of a sudden he's scrambling for 15, 25 yards. You know what I mean? It's always you use your legs when you need to, use around. And I think he's going to have that opportunity. I think they put him in a great position. I think he had a lot of guys around him that helped him have confidence, because I really believe when he was with Chicago, that is so wrong, man. It's not wrong, but to be drafted and say you're going to be the face of a traditional team like a Chicago Bears that's been horrible for so long. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so for him to come with the Steelers, even though they were shorthanded, he still had a great organization and great coach and great guys around him to let him know, this is how you have to be. This is what you need to do. This is what you have to be. This is how you need to move. And you only have one thing, and that's be able to read defenses. You know what I mean? So, and then to see he only got 2 years on his contract, I think that's must see right there, because he's almost like he got paid because he should get paid, but it's a tryout. You know what I mean? And I think he's, watching the Colts and looking at their stats, excuse me, I think the Jets is already prepared for that. They got, like I said, they already locked in the players that they needed to lock in. He has chemistry with one of the receivers. I think and the Jets also went through a lot. So I think it's going to be interesting to watch them all. It's new coaches. There's a lot of positive things there to more. So I'm saying Justin Fields. My defensive player to watch is also a Jet, Quincy Williams, linebacker. I think with the new defensive coordinator. It's funny. The Jets signs like some of the players that has had success. You know what I mean? And he's won since 2019. He has done nothing but improved every year. And so I think he's one of those players to watch, especially with this new defensive coordinator and new head coach.
And can I touch on that real quick, Coach?
Yes.
I think Quincy Williams, I like, he's incredible. I don't think he gets nearly enough flowers as he deserves. Mm-hmm. I remember his rookie year. It was a Buffalo Bills down year. I remember that. It was the year we lost to the Broncos. And Quincy Williams is chasing Josh Allen. Like, Josh Allen is entirely scrambled out of the pocket, and Quincy Williams is trailing right behind him, and he makes the tackle. It's not quite a tackle for a loss, but he doesn't get nearly enough flowers. I'm really glad you brought him up. And then Justin Fields, we keep mentioning Garrett Wilson, but I want to, like, let's not act like he didn't have good wide receivers in Chicago. Maybe not his first couple of years, but he had access to DJ Moore.
Yeah.
He had good backs. Like, he had David Montgomery for a spell. He had, I don't know, I don't think DeAndre Swift was quite on I think that was last year, but he had good options. And I don't know if Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall are really going to be the difference maker for him, especially when you have a defensive-minded head coach. And then the 2-year deal, like, they don't seem like they're ready to really be like, they're not in it for the long haul with anybody. It really feels like, except for Sauce Gardner. Like, they don't want to work on anybody. They just want. We saw it with Aaron Rodgers and Zach Wilson. They just, if they're not good in 2 years, they get rid of them. Whereas other teams, we've seen success after 3 or 4. So.
Yeah,
that's all I want.
And I think that's the hope. And I think that's the hope that's what they want. That it's like a trial, like a trial period for Justin Fields. They want to see, hey, I want to really invest in him for the long term. Let's see what he got. So that goes to my point as far as my player to watch. I think it's gonna be Garrett Wilson. It's my player to watch offensively. Because to your point, Marcus, what I think too, they were together at Ohio State, so I definitely think there's some continuity there. Potentially, it could still be there. I know last year, and it's crazy because that was such a tumultuous season for him. obviously with him and kind of Aaron Rodgers kind of thing, kind of similar, but he had a great year. I mean, 101 receptions, a little over 1,100 yards, and 7 touchdowns. So I'm thinking that he could potentially have another season similar to that, and obviously with that continuity that they had at Ohio State, at least we would think they will, at least get along to a point where it should be good on that point. And then I think about defense player, we already said it's going to be Christian Gonzalez. I really want to see how he's going to go against all these talented wide receivers in this division. That's one thing about this division too, and we can say that for a lot of divisions, but in the AFC East, you got some dogs. Wide receiver. So we want to see what Christian Gonzalez can possess, especially now with being in this Mike Vrabel defense. Going to see what he could possibly do. So yeah, those are my 2 guys to watch, offensive and defensive, for this division. So we're going to talk about the rookies. Who are your AFC East rookies to watch offensively and defensively? I'm gonna go with you first, Mal. Who's your offensive and defensive rookie to watch in the AFC East?
My defensive guy is Jason Marshall. Hope I said his name right, but Jason Marshall from Florida State, Florida Gator. He's replacing Jalen Ramsey. That right there, you know what I'm saying? They lost Ramsey, they got Fitzpatrick, but they needed a corner. So I think that's a player to watch. If there ever was something to watch the Dolphins for this season, you know what I mean? I mean, no, I don't mean to be rude. I was pushing for Tua, but like it's starting to, might need to reevaluate things. Also, and then of course, my offensive guy is Ohio State's Hopewell High, Trayvon Henderson. You know what I mean? I think it's his. I think he's going to do well with with the Patriots and with the coaching staff. And then he's he's an ultimate professional. So he plays hard. He's like a pit bull out there. Look like X on steroids. You know what I mean? He gonna be nasty. So that's my offensive player of the year. You know what I mean?
All right, and I'm gonna go to you next, Marcus. Who is your rookie offensive and defensive?
So, Maui touched on it. I think TreVeyon Henderson is kind of the easy answer there. Not like to talk shit on the guy or talk crap. I don't know what I'm allowed to say. TreVeyon Henderson, he was incredible at Ohio State. He's a second-round pick for a reason. There's not too many other guys that were drafted in the first 3 rounds by any of these teams that were really offensive weapons. Like the Jets went after offensive line. I have no idea who the Dolphins went after. I think they went after defense. And then the Patriots, they went after Will Campbell and then, TreVeyon Henderson. So I think he's definitely the offensive guy to look for, just because he's on a team where Ramondre Stevenson is running back 1, and I don't really think that should be anyone's first option personally. So I think TreVeyon Henderson, offensive rookie to watch. Defensive rookie to watch. I've got nothing. I've been trying. I would say Max Hairston for the Buffalo Bills, but he tweaked his knee, and he's not gonna. He might not play for a little bit because he was dealing with some knee problems at Kentucky in his final year there, and then I don't know if he tweaked the same knee, but had ACL tear scare during training camp. So I would say him, but I'll agree with Maui again. That Dolphins defensive back, that is probably like the biggest positional group need for a team in the AFC East is defensive backs in the Miami Dolphins, just because they lost Jalen Ramsey and they've got Minkah Fitzpatrick, but Minka's like getting up there in age, and he has been a Dolphin in the past, but I don't think you could honestly pay the man more money to tackle. He doesn't really like to tackle that much, and so they've got some defensive struggles. Kader Kohu, I'm against. He refuses to tackle people as well, and he plays linebacker. So I'd like to see them. I'd like to see Dolphins defensive backs. They need that position the most. So I'll agree with Maui again on that one.
All right. X, who is your rookie to watch in the AFC East, offensive and defense?
Well, offensively, I'm piggybacking off of Maui and Marcus with TreVeyon Henderson. So that's my offensive pick. Defensively, my answer is biased because I know this person personally somewhat. It's the safety from Cal, Craig Woodson. He's on the New England Patriots. I chose him because I feel like he has the potential of being a great safety. But with him being trying to think of a 4th-round pick, I know he's going to have to earn his minutes on the field. He's probably going to have to start off on special teams and work his way into the rotation. So I'm gonna keep my eye closely on him because I feel like he has the potential of earning more time on the field and potentially grabbing a starting safety spot for New England in the very near future. His ball hawk skills are just amazing. It's like he's a magnet to the football. He's if you watch him, he's always around the ball, and he don't mind getting in there and tackling either.
I think mine's from a defense. Well, I'm gonna do first offense. To obviously it would be Travion Henderson, but I'm not gonna be the dead horse. Will Campbell. He's someone that I really like. He's someone I think is a guy that will eventually be a Hall of Famer. I think him at that left tackle spot is gonna be perfect. Coupled with I talked about it earlier with Moses, with Morgan Moses, Meadowbrook, on pretty much being there left pretty much their bookend tackles on the offensive line. I just love his motor. He's a patriot. He's someone that's definitely feels like he's gonna be such a system fit. He's gonna be one of those guys I think is gonna have a C on his chest. He will be, I think in my personal opinion, will be a Hall of Famer in this league, and I definitely think he's gonna do his damnness to get to protect Drake May. He's one of those guys that you want him to be in the foxhole with you. If something goes down, you want somebody like a Will Campbell to have your back. And then Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle, went to Michigan. Like I said, I think I've always kind of made a point of kind of looking at these Michigan guys making impacts for these teams. Obviously, a part of a championship pedigree at Michigan. So I think he'll make a pretty good impact. So that's going to be my two rookies to watch in the AFC East. I do have one little kind of a honorable mention in a sense. It's going to be Mason Taylor. And he's another one I think could potentially help Justin Fields in his development as well. Comes from a great pedigree. Uncle is Zach Thomas. Dad is Jason Taylor. So I definitely think Mason Taylor got a legitimate shot. And I think last time I checked the depth chart, he'll be the starting tight end. So I see some big things from Mason Taylor for sure. All right. So, fellas, go around the horn. Any hot takes in the AFC East? Any hot takes, fellas?
Of course.
All right. Who want to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
I'll go first.
All right.
I got you.
All right.
Since the Miami Dolphins is struggling, the Dolphins, at the end of the season, the Dolphins and Mike McDaniels have decided to part ways. That's my hot take.
Is that a hot take or just what's going to happen?
Hey, right now it's hot, okay? But by that time, it might be a reality.
All right. Anybody? We'll go to you first. I'll go to you next, Marcus. What you got?
I don't know if I have any hot takes on this division, man. I mean, I can't say that like, Buffalo's going to win the division. Well, yeah, obviously I'm going to think that, but also like you look at the competition and there's really nothing else going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'll have my hot take. I'll say Aaron Glenn helps lead the Jets defense as a top 5 defense in the NFL.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's great.
Fair. What you got, X?
My hot take is the Patriots will be at least one game out of winning the AFC East.
Ooh.
Okay. Yes, mine's almost mirrors Maui, but obviously he has a January 5th firing. I actually have a November 17th firing. I think
right back to my birthday.
The day after that. Matter of fact, the Commanders play the Dolphins on your birthday in Spain. I think once they get back to the United States, Mike McDaniels pretty much can pack up his office and he'll be home for Christmas.
They might leave him in Madrid.
Possibly. I mean, yeah, he might have to pay his own way back home, but he'll be home for Thanksgiving and Christmas, so he'll be home for the holidays. So yeah, I think the date is gonna be November 17th. I think they're gonna fly back to Miami, and I think it's probably gonna be a Monday morning firing on the 17th of November. I think he'll be the first coach getting fired this year. And it sucks for my guy.
I'm sorry.
On that commander staff. So shout out to my guy.
He should have got a quarterback, like just in case, because everything is really on Tua. You know what I mean? You paid him, but I think you still should have got somebody.
Well,
I'm not mad at what the Colts did. Be on the low, like
I mean, he got Zach Wilson and Quinn Ewers.
Quinn Ewers.
But even with Zach Wilson, the moms can't come near to give out cookies and cupcakes and stuff. Hey. And it's Miami. Man, don't be looking at my brother like that.
All of it.
My bad.
It's a wrap, yeah. They all gonna be there in Miami. Every mother's gonna be in Miami.
Right.
That's
Quinn Ewers has been having a very good preseason. I will say that.
Shout out to Quinn Ewers. What's so funny in the draft? I was hoping that the Colts was going to get Quinn Ewers. I always thought that was a perfect spot for him to go was to the Colts. And I think this is even after the post Daniel Jones signing. So yeah, and like you said, him going to Miami is really interesting. That Quinn Ewers went there. So
I do have a question. I'm going to connect this back to the AFC East. It doesn't sound like you all like Anthony Richardson very much.
No. I mean, for me, I'm not saying that. When we had a discussion, we were saying that he just wasn't healthy. But then if you look at the stats, like they was running the ball like crazy. You know what I mean? But he was unhealthy. He could throw the ball, but we was just kind of like, it's reality. Like, man, if he stay healthy, hopefully he can do this and that. But then you start looking at everything. You start saying they got Daniel Jones there, and Daniel Jones ain't got to deal with the pressure of being a Giants quarterback. And I'm gonna throw it to one of you guys. We definitely like him. It's just that we were just like the way the hands are being dealt, it ain't looking good.
Yeah, like I said, we do like him. It's just the fact that they paid Daniel Jones all that money, and you had a feeling that he was not going to be the backup. They brought him in to be the starting QB.
So my question, to connect it back to the AFC East, is why do fans of any team, just NFL fans in general, keep giving Justin Fields chances, but they refuse to give Anthony Richardson more than 3 years?
Because
I think a lot of it too, in my personal opinion, Anthony Richardson, he was already young anyway. So it was almost like to a point where it's kind of one of those things where he need experience in the first place, because he only started like 15 games at Florida. So, and then they even said that they were going to kind of light a fire under him by signing Daniel Jones. So it's kind of one, and I think it's just an organizational thing, organization by organization. To answer the question per se, I think people see the opportunity in a Justin Fields probably more so than Anthony Richardson. I think Anthony Richardson is probably going to be similar to him. I think once all the smoke settles, you'll see him probably hopping from team to team to team. And like those type of situations where he'll get on those little 2-year deals, or if he's a bridge quarterback, and I'm not necessarily saying that Daniel Jones is like a peer, but Daniel Jones is still like in his 20s. So it was kind of odd that they would get him, compared to if you look at most backup situations, they're really not all the same age. They might be a little bit younger, but here or there. But yeah, it's odd. But Anthony Richardson's he'll still be around. He'll get second, third, multiple chances, because like you said, him being a 4th overall pick, somebody's gonna kick the tires on him. It's gonna happen.
Anything else?
Yeah, I didn't mean to derail the conversation there.
No. I think it goes with it. Me personally, I think it's organizational too. Like they had Saquon Barkley, they disrespected him, and then they had to stick with Daniel Jones, and then he's not there anymore. But they had so many quarterback issues with the Giants. I just think that the Colts is like, we have positivity in this. All we need is we got a quarterback that knows how to read defenses. You know what I mean? That knows how to do this. And you got to go that way. I think, like you said, Anthony Richardson is still young. So he's still gonna get chances. Like he's still phenomenal. It's just probably got to be shaped up a little bit. And I think by Fields and a lot of players end up going to Pittsburgh and like this, it kind of like reboots them, even coaches and stuff like that. Reboots them and then they end up getting a job and be successful somewhere else. So I just think him being under Russ might help him because sometimes you need that. Didn't Fields come right in and was a starting quarterback?
Yeah.
Very
Was he
similar
behind
to-
anybody?
No. He came right in and started.
And the Bears have been smelly for a long time. You know what I mean? So.
Well, their quarterback play hasn't been good in years. Anytime the Bears had success, they had a top 5 defense to carry them.
Was the coach that got fired last year? Was he with Justin Fields?
Yeah. They drafted him. Matter of fact, Eberflus, I think was he? Because
I thought Eberflus was a more recent signing.
Yeah, Eberflus was. Yeah, I mean, but because all right, so Eberflus, he was only there for what, like 3-4 years? Because who drafted?
I thought he was only there for like 2.
So who was the quarterback? Who was the coach then?
I thought that it was somebody in the middle that they fired. He got drafted by somebody and they got fired and they brought somebody in and thinking that they made all these trades thinking that was going to help him. Because didn't they make some weird trade with the Washington football team or Commanders? I thought it was that.
Montez, well, yeah. So
wasn't it a new coach or something?
So that was let me think about. That was in 2020.
So Matt Nagy was the head coach of the Bears at the time.
Matt Nagy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Matt Nagy drafted him. Yeah, Matt Nagy drafted him. But Eberflus, because the only thing that was
go ahead.
Go
ahead.
The only thing that was weird about that trade was because Montez Sweat was on the contract year, and they felt so like, well, you shouldn't be going to get a guy when you're rebuilding. But it worked out well for them. I know a lot of people looked at it that it's kind of odd, but hey, it worked out for them.
But
what I'm saying is, just real quick, what I'm saying is, they said that Caleb Fields last year didn't even have people in there trying to watch film with him. So wasn't that Matt Nagy or whatever his name was?
No,
wasn't
that was
his?
Eberflus.
Okay,
that's Eberflus.
All right. So my whole thing was, I was just wondering if Caleb Williams got treated that way, was the same thing happened to Justin Fields? Not to stick up for Fields, but I'm just saying some of these organizations are very disorganized and they just want to get a paycheck, especially dealing with NFL fans.
Yeah,
it's something about the Bears organization. It's just
they just haven't had a good quarterback play. Like I said last week, they haven't had a 4,000 yard thrower
ever.
I don't even think Jake Cutler even got to that point.
No, they have never had a 4,000 yard passer in over 100 years.
Yeah.
Rex Grossman.
But it's going to end this year, though. It's going to end this year, like we talked about it last week. It's going to end this year for sure.
Mm-hmm. I was shocked to see Caleb Williams' stats. I'm sorry, Coach. My bad.
You're good. All right. So we gonna. So basically, we'll do our record predictions. So basically, we'll do our predictions for the AFC East. I'm gonna go with you first, Marcus. How do you have the AFC East playing out record wise?
So this is great timing, or this is great because I was gonna do a whole segment on my show about record predictions. I think it is still the Buffalo Bills to win. I think, as much as I don't want to sound like, I am obviously a fan, but they are the best team in the AFC East. Josh Allen is the reigning MVP. Sorry.
Stomach hurts.
They went 13-4 last season. I think they have a much easier schedule than they had last season, with every difficult game that they're playing happening at home because it's the last year at the Ralph. Every difficult game that they have, which is really only 4. It's the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Bengals, and the Eagles. Every single one of those games is being played at home. And so I think that is definitely, Bills Mafia is going to be loud when the Eagles come to town on Route 17. They're going to be loud for the Chiefs, for the Ravens, for the Bengals. It's definitely going to play a part. And so I have, as their ceiling, I have 15-2. I do not think that is conceivable. And I have as their floor at like 12-5. So I'm going to say they're probably somewhere around 13-4, 14-3, if all goes well. For the Dolphins, I think they're kind of sitting somewhere between 9-8 and 6-12, just because they haven't really made every move that they've made this offseason has been lateral, not forwards. They traded Minkah Fitzpatrick. They traded an aging Jalen Ramsey for an aging Minkah Fitzpatrick. They somehow Darren Waller came back. I don't think we talked about that enough. Somehow Darren Waller is back in the NFL. How did that happen? The Jets, they went 5-12 last season. I don't think they have a winning season. I do think they have gotten better. Quincy Williams, both incredible players. I think they go 8-9. Justin Fields is obviously better than Aaron Rodgers. So I'll say 8-9 for them. And then the Patriots, I think they are the second best team in the East this year. They went 4-13 last year. I think we could see kind of a resurgence similar to what the Commanders had when they went 4-13. Maybe not as drastic, go into the AFC Championship, but I can see 10-7, just because the Stephon Diggs, while he's good, he's getting much older, but he will be able to help Kayshon Boutte and Jalen Polk get better. So I have the Bills winning the division, the Patriots coming in second, the Jets coming in third, and the Dolphins coming in last.
All right, so Dolphins, because I know you said you had your height and then your ceiling. What did you have officially for the Dolphins?
For the Dolphins, I'm gonna say, so if I have them coming in last, I'll say 6-12.
Well, 6-11.
6-11
or 5.
Thank you very much. Yes.
All right. Okay. All right.
They lose their bye week too.
Yeah. All right, Melvin, what's your record prediction for the AFC East? What you got?
I got the Bills winning, of course. I got them at 12-5. I got the Jets at 9-8. I got the Pats at 7-10, and I got the Dolphins at 5-12. Now, I have it that way, but I believe the real winners is going to be the Pats, because I think they're going to be real physical. And that giant of a superstar, which I think is the only true real superstar in that division, they're going to have to be extremely physical. I think that's going to be one of the Pats' biggest things. So, yeah, that's it.
All right. What you got, X?
I got Buffalo winning the division at 12-5. I got New England finishing at 11-6. I'm going to give you a weird record for the Jets. I just got this gut feeling. They're going to be 8-1. As far as Miami, I want to say 5-12, but I feel like they can eke out one win and make themselves 6-11. Regardless, they're still going to miss the playoffs.
Okay. All right. So actually, as a matter of fact, I have the record here, but I've had this probably since like 4th of July weekend. This was my official one, so I copied from here. So I actually had the Bills having the best record in the NFL this year at 15-2. I do have the Patriots. Yeah, I had the Patriots at 10-7. And the Patriots, they'll get the 7th seed in the NFC. I mean, in the AFC, my bad. So we got 2 playoff teams in my prediction. I got the Jets at 8-9, and I got the Dolphins at 7-10.
Real powerhouse division this year.
Yeah.
I feel like my team is getting disrespected for some reason. I feel like some of the wins on my Steelers, I think y'all put L's there. I'm starting to feel it a little bit.
I mean, it's like that.
That might be the tie game with all the Jets.
Yeah,
so we try to be on my side.
I wonder who they're gonna tie with.
The Steelers.
I wonder who.
Week 1.
What are we going?
Week 1.
Yeah, no.
0-1.
So we're gonna start with the NFC East, the last division of our football preview. So we're gonna start off here where we have the NFC East, and we'll go around the horn. Essentially, what is your one storyline for each team in this division? I'm gonna go with you first, Marcus. What's your singular storyline for each team in this division?
So I think I'm gonna go with the Commanders first. I think it's a storyline that could honestly have its the end of it written by week 1, and that's Terry McLaurin. I think you pay him, you win football games. You don't pay him, you lose football games. It's kind of just as simple as that. As well as just other personnel things. I heard a rumor, or maybe it was just the truth, that Brian Robinson was on the trade block, which I thought was very interesting, as they did have kind of a poor run game last season from my eyes. Maybe I'm dead wrong. The Giants, the easy answer is Jackson Dart, but I'm going to take it anyway. Or really just their whole quarterback room. They've got Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston. We said it earlier, Russell Wilson is one of the utmost professionals in sports. I think you have a rookie first-round pick sit behind him who kind of has a similar play style to what Russ had as a younger man. That's definitely going to be able to help Jackson Dart get better. And then for the Eagles, it's really just continuing on last season's success. And then I also do kind of want to see better quarterback play from Jalen Hurts. He's not a top 5 quarterback. I will die on that hill. He's got the best team in football, plain and simple. He's got the best defense in football. And so I maybe just seeing, continuing on last season's success, maybe seeing more from Devontae Smith, not just the A.J. Brown show. And then for the Cowboys, how's Brian Schottenheimer going to do in year 1? It was an odd signing to me because I really hadn't heard his name before he was hired as the Cowboys head coach. I knew he was a coordinator, I think, for Jacksonville or maybe Tampa. And, you've got Dak Prescott, who at one point was the highest paid quarterback, and you got George Pickens and you got CeeDee Lamb. They've got on paper, they have a really solid team, but I just don't know how we said that last season, and we all know how that season ended for them. So, yeah, those are my kind of storylines to watch in the NFC East this year.
Yeah, to your point, Marcus, yes, Brian Robinson Jr. is on the trade block. Yeah, he's pretty much 9 times out of 10. Probably by the time we end next week, he'll be somewhere else. That's going to happen. That's imminent. And because Schottenheimer, he was the offensive coordinator in Dallas.
Okay.
So he was. Yeah, and I'm gonna go with you first. I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna go with Mal. What's your storylines to watch in the NFC East?
I'm gonna go with Cowboys first. Everybody's paid. Everybody's healthy. Will Dallas win the division or at least be number 2? I'm gonna go with the Commanders. Will Deebo Samuels be healthy enough, stay healthy, and be able to help the Commanders to the Super Bowl? I guess the next one is, I got something else for him for the Eagles, but will Jalen Hurts make a decision of trying to be the top 5 quarterback or to try to win the Super Bowl? Again, the reason I say that, in 2023, he threw his most yards, but it was the most interceptions he ever thrown. Last year was the second or the less passing yards he had ever thrown. So with all the stuff, him not getting the respect he deserved, Is he going to try to make that run to be the MVP or be the top quarterback in the league? And my last one is with Russ, Jameson, Dart, will Brian, oh man, I hope I'll mess his name up. Will the Giants head coach be on the hot seat this season? I would have thought in 2024 it was 3-14, 2023 is 6-11, 2022 he was 9-7-1, but they won 1 playoff games against the Vikings and he won Coach of the Year. I would have thought he would have been fired by now.
Yeah, very strange.
Very strange.
What you got, X?
For the Eagles, can they remain healthy throughout the season and try to repeat as Super Bowl champions? For the Cowboys alone are a storyline. It's every week is something different. So my storyline for the Cowboys is the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones. They find Jerry Jones finds ways to keep the Cowboys in the news cycle, regardless if they're 16-0 or 0-16. He'll find a way to keep them in the news cycle. The Giants is for the Giants, it'll be Dayball being on the hot seat, and can the Giants finally turn around? For the past few years, the Giants have been like the bottom feeders in the NFC East. I feel like now with Russell Wilson at the helm, they can turn that around. They can be on the fence as far as a playoff team. Like I said, I like Russell as the quarterback. I like their defense. Their run game is solid. Their receivers are solid. So they have what it takes to make the playoffs. And lastly, the Commanders. I don't see Jaden Daniels having a sophomore slump, but with a lot of teams knowing what they're going to bring to the table, can they replicate what they did last season? What they did last season kind of reminded me of what the Lions did the year prior. How they made it to the NFC Championship game, but they blew the game to the 49ers in the second half. With the Commanders, the Commanders got, no disrespect, coach, but the Commanders pretty much got beat from start of the game to the end of the game. So, like I said, with every team knowing what they bring to the table, can they have that repeat? Can they do it again with the other teams knowing what's coming their way? And it's a lot of game tape out on Jaden Daniels now, so there's no more surprises.
$45-31, Xavier. Anyway, well, I digress. Okay. Okay. You want to play? No, but I feel you on that because honestly, that's how I kind of felt going into the season. Like, kind of feeling like, yeah, it's hard to get back. But I'll stay on focus. I start with Dallas. The Brian Schottenheimer era. This team, they I think if you look at it, if you had a healthy Dak, they could have been somewhat in this NFC East kind of shakeup last season. So you look at, hey, a few wins they could have been in this picture. So you look at that, and then the Michael hold in. So it's gonna be interesting how that all gonna play out as well. And then we'll talk about a hold in momentarily. The Giants, the QB carousel. We also know that Russ to our point, to Raphael's point, that Russ is going to be QB1. But, you know, you look at what's, you know, if he struggles or if anything happens to him, who's next in lineup, people going to be calling for Jackson Dart. So it's going to be kind of – so that could be someone hovering over them. And then the sophomore year of Tyrone Tracy Jr. Had a phenomenal rookie season. Will he kind of get to that 1,000-yard plateau this year? So that's going to be kind of an interest up there. I think simple for the Eagles, repeat. You know, that's just one of those. They're the team that won some fancy trophy in New Orleans last year. But to your point, go back to the Philadelphia Eagles situation. We were in that game. We just had some situation. We had some costly turnovers in certain spots in that game. Even after that back-breaking 76-yard play, we were in that game. De'Ami Brown fumbles that football. Even in the second, going to halftime, we had a legitimate shot in that game. Then we fumbled out the kick return. So, I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, you're right. But I mean, hey.
Yeah, I remember that.
Hey, trust me, January 26th, living my mind rent-free for the rest of my life.
I know.
You don't even have to regurgitate that anymore. Okay.
The number 13 lives in my head. 13 seconds is all it took for my team to lose. Don't worry.
Yeah, yeah.
We knew that,
and then with the Commanders, I think it's so many storylines to go on. I just think this whole Terry McLaurin situation. I went from it's gonna be no big deal, but we're about 2 weeks, about 20-something plus days away from opening day. I'm a little nervous. I got a little small bubble guts, but I'm okay. But come Labor Day, I might be a little nervous, you know. But for now, August 20th, I'm a little nervous. But come Labor Day, if nothing happens, I might be a little nervous. I might be a little bit on pins and needles. But yeah, that's going to be the biggest storyline. So we'll go to our players to watch in the NFC East, one on offense and one on defense. I'm going to go with you first, Marcus. Who is your player to watch in the NFC East, offensive and defensively?
Offensively, I think there's a lot of options to choose from, but I want to look towards George Pickens for this one. I think, he has a bad rap just because he is one of the most aggressive football players I've ever watched in my whole life. That's not a bad thing. He just has a bad rap, and whether the split from Pittsburgh was, I know Pittsburgh fans weren't too happy about it. I don't know if he was, but down in Dallas, he's going to have Dak Prescott, who, as much as people don't want to say, he is a good quarterback. He's going to have CeeDee Lamb next to him, and he's going to be able to learn a lot from CD. So I'm going to look towards George Pickens for my offensive player to look out for, just because I think the Dallas Cowboys passing attack could definitely get a lot better. And then on defense, I guess we just keep looking at, maybe like Jordan Carter, or is that his name? No, the guy from Philly.
Jalen Carter.
Oh, Jalen Carter. Oh, hell.
Thank you. He's a really good defensive tackle, in my opinion. I think hasn't reached his ceiling yet. I think he still has a lot more to go. Last year was just his second year in the league. And that defensive line just continues to get better. So, yeah, I think Jalen Carter, defensive player to watch for me.
All right. I'm going to you first, Maui. What you got? Who's your defensive player to watch in the NFC East?
I mean, I'm gonna watch Jalen Daniels. Like I'm really interested to see if it is gonna be a sophomore slump, because ain't too many people saying anything negative about him. Like, you know what I mean? That's got to feel good to have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's positive. So I think it's gonna be a lot of eyes on him this season to see if he can repeat. But I'm gonna go with Jalen Daniels. My defensive guy is I hope I say his name right, Zach Bond, for the Philadelphia Eagles. Like I looked him up. I think he was drafted in 2019, and he was with New Orleans, and you could tell they didn't really play him. But then he got with the Eagles. They signed him to a three-year deal, 35 million guaranteed. 51 million with incentives, 1.5 performance. But they said they basically got him for locker room leadership. So I'm gonna check him out. I think that I think he's gonna be one of those. I think they just lost somebody, so he was able to or retired. So he's going to be able to be able to play more. So I think he's going to be somebody they're going to be talking about a little bit more.
Oh, you talking about that Brandon Graham?
NFC East. Here we go.
Which guy X?
Offensively, my player to watch is Saquon. I mean, he had a lot of touches last season, and we know, especially at the running back position, if you give a running back those many touches one season and it carried on through to the playoffs, 9 times out of 10, I'm not knocking on wood, not wishing any bad luck on him or anything. Plus, he is the Madden cover. Can he stay healthy all season? Because he is. Without him, the Eagles don't repeat. So, my offensive player to watch is Saquon. My defensive player to watch is Micah. I want to see can Micah take that next step. He's always been hovering around the defensive player of the year talks, but I want to see if this season can he seal the deal and win that award. I think he's going to be motivated to win this award, especially the way this contract dispute has been going on. And by him winning that award, it kind of gives him the upper hand.
And let's see. So yeah, to answer your question, Raphael, don't you do that, Marcus? Don't
3 tackles, take it or leave it.
No, I think he got enough. I mean, he got a quarter of a tank. Give him a quarter of a tank, Marcus.
Stephon Diggs had more tackles than Von Miller one year.
Well, like I said, I digress from that point. I think he'll have at least like a quarter of a tank of gas. I think he will. Don't expect Super Bowl MVP Von Miller from 10 years ago. I think he'll make some contributions. In some spot duty, on some limited stats, but I think he'll do enough just to you may not see it on the stat line, but you'll see his presence in the game. I necessarily don't think you're gonna see, like I said 10 years ago, him just on every play and just dominate. No, so I'm assuming 2K the Madden cover of that 2K. So that's what I'm assuming that's what you mean, Raphael, as far as the that's concerned. So my players to watch, see 4 downs, just a pass rusher. Probably a pass rusher. Potentially. That's why I look at it at this point, because he is at this point late date, because what is he drafted, so it's like his 15th year in the league. Yeah, like I said, don't expect much. A quarter of a tank of gas. The gas light might be on. The gas light might come on maybe right after Christmas, maybe right around that time. But yeah. So, the player to watch, I look offensively, is going to be Malik Neighbors, especially now when you have what I deem as continuity at the offensive. At the quarterback position. I don't necessarily think you're going to have a shifting like you did last year. I mean, you might still have somewhat of a shift, but I mean, at least, hey, if push come to shove, you have a rotation of a Russ. Maybe Jameis may have to come in, maybe Jackson Dart, and may have a little sprinkle of Tommy DeVito. But I still think Malik Davis is going to have just as great as production as he did his rookie year to his sophomore year. Last year he had a little over 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns. So I think he would be someone to definitely watch and be the focal point of the Giants offense. And then staying with the Giants, Dexter Lawrence, Sexy Dexy. He's gonna be someone like we haven't seen his career yet. I can see him having a double-digit sack season this year. I mean, he was right at it last year with 9. And that's one thing about the Giants situation that's kind of scary. Like almost, I don't know who said it, but now because they've always had a great defense, now you have a manageable quarterback that can at least get you where you need to go. And that offense has struggled, obviously, as you talked about the other quarterbacks that's been in this rotation. That's what's the kind of the scary thing about that. Because once that defense is on, coupled with somewhat of that offense, I'm like, and that's why I'm really leery about this week 1 matchup against the Giants. It's gonna be one of those things that people say, "Oh, it's gonna be easy." No, it's not. You have to pack your lunch. That week 1, you got to pack your lunch. You gotta have to pack a double lunch because they're gonna give you hell, and regardless of the situation. But now they're a lot. To my personal opinion, they're a lot better. So it's like, especially from the offensive standpoint. So. And now that now we probably get as far as Tyrone Tracy Jr., as I mentioned earlier, from running back position, it's gonna be Giants. It's not nothing to sneeze at. So even regardless, if anything, Giants is the Giants. All right, so fellas, let's talk about some rookies in the NFC East. What are your rookies to watch on offense and on defense? I'm gonna go to you first, Marcus. What you got?
So on offense, I'm going to take the easy answer. I'm going to say Jackson Dart. He's not going to be the week 1 starter, but he is just one of the he's going to end up starting at least by after Thanksgiving. Not to call Russell Wilson a bad quarterback, but just because I think the Giants are going to be antsy to get their new guy in there. Kind of think like a Drake May kind of situation from last season. Obviously, Jacoby Brissett is much worse than Russell Wilson, but I think we're looking at maybe he'll start probably the back half of the season, maybe even by week 6 if Russ is kind of like having a down year. So definitely gonna look at Dart to have he's definitely my rookie to look out for. I kind of am stuck between 2. I have the easy answer, sticking with the Giants, and Abdul Carter. He was the 3 overall pick, maybe 4. I don't remember exactly. Incredible at Penn State. Really, really solid defensive end. He did get a crazy chip block on him by a Dolphins tight end on the other day, but obviously, you got to welcome to the guy to the NFL at some point. So. But I don't really want to take that easy answer. I want to look at Andrew Makuba out of Texas and the Eagles. I have somehow caught every Eagles preseason game so far, and he has been putting on a show. He is a safety, and they do kind of have that safety position locked up. If they look at moving DeJean back to safety instead of having him play kind of that slot corner or just corner in general position. Again, they will have a spot for Makuba, but he's been putting on a show. He's definitely going to make that 53-man roster. He's been getting sacks and interceptions and picking up fumbles. So I'm looking at Andrew Makuba to have a pretty solid year.
All right, I'm going to go with you next, X, your offensive and defensive rookies to watch in the NFC East.
My offensive rookie is going to be the same as Marcus's. Is Jackson Dart. I agree with everything Marcus said. He will not be the week 1 starter, but I feel like at some point in the season they will hand over the keys to Jackson Dart. My defensive rookie to watch is Jahad Campbell. I mean that Philly defense is already top notch, and I feel like Jihad is going to step in week 1 and make his presence known.
All right. Maui, who is your NFC East rookies to watch offensive and defensively?
Both giant. They're both giants, and they're both easy. So I'm not even gonna lie to you. On Jackson Dart, I'm saying his name because he was the second quarterback that was picked in the draft. He was traded. They traded to get him, so he was the 25th pick. So I'm so curious to see how good he is, especially pertaining to other quarterbacks that was looked that didn't get picked that a lot of people thought should get picked. So that's what I'm gonna see. I'm picking to watch him to see how good he really is. And I'm picking Abdul Carter, especially after that chick block that I just saw, and he took it, and I liked what he said. So it's gonna be interesting to see him play and see how nasty he's going to be. Short and sweet.
And my offensive rookie to watch, and it's kind of piggyback to your point we talked about Marcus far as why like Brian Robinson Jr. is like on the trade block in a sense. Because obviously they drafted a guy. His government name is Ja'Cory Croskett Merritt, but around these parts we call him Bill. Because that was, so I think he's going to be that next kind of running back for this Commanders team. So you look at him, obviously, with also Eckler and also Chris Rodriguez. So you definitely think it'll be somewhat like a trio kind of committed for that running back room for Washington. So I think people will gravitate to Bill, and I think people you'll see why they kind of pretty much got rid of Brian Robinson. Well, in the midst of getting rid of him, and then obviously Trey Amos from Ole Miss, number 23 for the Washington Commanders. All SEC. I think he's going to be a critical part of the secondary, something that we are now kind of like building. Obviously, now you have Marshawn Lattimore on the other end. You got Mikey Sandstrill. You got guys kind of coming up in that secondary, and I definitely think Trey Amos is going to fit that bill. I think we got it right this time. Obviously, we kind of hit or miss when it comes to the cornerbacks. If you have been a Washington Commanders fan, football team, Redskin fan, obviously with the Emmanuel Forbes, few years back, and then I got Ben St. Juice. We haven't struck it. We haven't struck that at all. So I definitely think this will be the year that the Commanders actually fix that situation. Actually, been drafting some quality secondary guys these last 2 years in the Adam Peters era. So, all right, so fellas, we'll go around the horn. Any NFC East hot takes? I guess okay.
I mean, I can freestyle one.
I mean, if you got one, you got one. Because I got one. I decided I just wanted to give everybody that opportunity. But yeah.
Go ahead then. I'm good.
All right. So typically the last game of the season is always that Sunday night football, and it's always flexed. So it's gonna be eerily similar to last year where you had the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings playing. One is going to play for the division, and one is going to play on Wild Card Weekend. The Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles will play the final game on January the 4th for the NFC East title. I will let you know who win that matchup momentarily when we do our record predictions.
All right, I got a hot take. I think Saquon Barkley. I was thinking about it. Maybe he's reached his peak. I think he breaks the single season rushing yards record next season. He was a game away from it last season. He sat out week 18. He would have hit it if he didn't. I think he breaks it, and if they have that Sunday night football matchup where they need him, he's gonna be in there, breaking some teeth.
You got one X?
Mine is simple. The Eagles become the first repeat NFC East champion since 2004? Yeah.
4? I think 4. Yeah, when they won it, when they did.
Yeah. So they'll be.
Yeah.
Okay. So
when the Eagles did. Yeah.
Mine is piggying back on some of the conversations that we've had on Couch Coach Live. Since the Cowboys have paid everybody and has underachieved, there's rumors and rumblings that Jerry Jones is being pressed to step down.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Hey, the way we go.
No. I don't hope so. I don't hope so, because I think if he stepped down, Dallas might actually start winning games that matter. No, Jerry, stay up there.
Yeah, Jerry, stay on. Keep those open. Make sure you
right.
Touchdowns.
Stay in there. Yep. Stay in there.
Hey, you got right, Coach. Edit mine out.
You can stay, Jerry. Tell
my bad.
Jerry, I will come to the facility every day and make you sweet tea. The tea that you like every day. I'll go in there and I'll make that tea for you every day. I want you to stay forever.
Do not step down.
No,
I'll donate.
I'll make the tea.
Live longer.
I'll make the tea. I make the tea every day. I'll be like,
he said he'll make him some sweet tea. That's crazy.
Jerry Jones like. Jerry Jones like. He like his sweet tea every day.
Who made this tea for me?
Me.
This ain't Couch Coach sweet tea. This is a pasta. Go get Chris. Go get Coach for me. Coach, you make me some tea. Crazy.
I do not want to see that.
Sir.
It's not Dallas.
It's the fans.
It's the fans.
It's obnoxious fans.
Yeah.
It's the
fans.
That's what kills everything. It's because everybody I know people who are actually Cowboy fans, and they cool. And some are obnoxious, and I hate the ones that when they tag me in that obnoxious shit every week, and I'm just like, well, Commanders fan, why are you doing this? Like, you want to be blocked? Like, seriously, do not tag me in that crap. Like,
it's hilarious. Do you know how sick they feel that the Eagles got a great quarterback and the success of the Commanders? You know, they're sitting back. I'm telling you, y'all don't believe they sitting there looking at Jerry Jones, especially with this Micah issue. Like, man, they got rid of Vince McMahon. We might be to do this. Like, you know what I mean?
Always got something to say, yo. So we gotta do our record predictions for the NFC East. I'm gonna go with you first, Marcus. What you got?
All right, I've got for the NFC East. I've got I have the Eagles coming in first again. They went 14-3 last season. Obviously, they won the Super Bowl. I think they do one win less than that, and I think they go 13-4. While that is a big projection, they haven't gotten worse, and they maybe have gotten better. Their defense is getting better. They've still got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, their entire O-line, and Dallas Goedert. Howie Roseman might be the best GM ever over the past. If you measure just in the past 3 years, he could be the best one ever. The Commanders, I have them coming in second, having that 5 spot in the playoffs. I think they go 12-5. You know, maybe lose that Sunday night football game you were talking about. Cowboys, 10-7, coming in third, and then the Giants. They went 3-14 last season. I can see them getting 6 wins, maybe 8. So I will say 8-9 for them.
All right. What you got, Mal?
I got the Eagles winning, of course. I have them with the best record in the NFL with 15-2. I have the Commanders with 12-5. I have the Giants and the Cowboys with 6-11.
And what you got, X?
I got the Eagles winning the division at 12-5.
Mm.
I have Dallas coming in second at 10-7. The I wanted to put the Commanders second, but I don't know about the Terry McLaurin situation. I feel like that's a big piece that they're going to be missing. So, Coach, don't kill me. This prediction is only if the Terry McLaurin situation does not pan out. So, as of now, I have the Commanders finishing 8-9, missing the playoffs, and I have the Giants coming up at 7-10 and missing the playoffs.
Just disrespecting Debo Samuels.
It's all
The
good.
audacity of it.
I would disrespect him too.
Oh, another one.
Debo is a happy meal away from being a tight end. Let's be real.
Oh no.
Oh,
That was earlier. That boy in shape.
yes.
Yeah,
He looks like Jaden Daniels' first ever touchdown complete pass. Trent Scott.
Man, nah, he legit. He legit. Oh yeah. Hey, y'all think he big? All right, y'all go see. He definitely didn't look like that Monday night.
All right. I know you about to do yours, Coach, but X, it seemed like you're a little bitter about that Lions game in the playoffs. I mean, come on, man.
Like I say, Scary Terry it brings so much to that offense. He is Jaden's. I feel like he's Jaden's security blanket.
I got you.
Yeah,
and then
you're right.
And then the run game. Brian Robinson they're trading Brian. Well, they have Brian Robinson on the trade block.
Time to move on.
Yeah, Austin Eckler. I like him as a back, but for fantasy football only. And I can't think of the rookie's name that's been catching traction.
So we call him Bill.
Okay.
Prosky Merritt out of Arizona.
Okay. So yeah, like I said, I don't want to see Jaden Daniels have a sophomore slump, but I just feel like if his numbers aren't the same or better than they were his rookie season, I think they will say he had a slump, even if he still plays good, but the numbers don't look the same. But that's all depending on, like I said, the Terry McLaurin situation.
Because he had a career last year. It was some points in the offense where he really wasn't even really involved, especially in the beginning. So just imagine you have a whole full season his own. But
Coach,
I don't know.
Can I bring up one more storyline for the Commanders? The age of their team. They have the oldest team in football. Yeah, I don't think that pans out for them. I don't think that pans out for them well.
That's balanced. I mean, my team's old too, but
they own it twice. Hello?
Coach, we couldn't hear a thing you just said.
Yeah.
You hear me now?
It's going in and out, but it's coming back.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, I bet. Okay. They're older, but they're good. They're as far as
it happens, man. You got to play through it.
All right. I think we.
There we go.
I think we.
Yeah,
Now, right.
Next play mentality, Coach. Next play mentality.
Yeah. So I think that's but they're old in certain spots. But I think where it really counts, I think that's they. You got to have a nice balance, and I think that's what they kind of try to do, especially like on the little 1 year, 2 year deals, that's concerned. But it is what it is. So, I got my record prediction. I actually got the Commanders winning the division at 11-6. Just for the simple fact of we won the division in 2015 in Philly. So you look at that, and then in 2020 we win the division. So it's pretty much like an every 5-year thing where the Washington Commanders win the NFC East. So I think it's going to end up happening. What happened? Y'all can hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. We can hear you.
All right. So we got the Eagles at 10-7. They'll be the losers at a Week 18 game. I got the Cowboys at 9-8, and then I got the Giants at 7-10. Yeah. What's y'all like? How the Commanders like a second place?
The Eagles are winning more than 10 games.
Huh?
This is why this is the best show ever. This is why it's the best show ever. You know what I mean? Like what? Okay. Yeah, they're gonna win. So what did you get the Commanders to win the division?
11-6.
11-6. Okay.
Hey, Coach, can I ask you a question? Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Because I missed last week's show. What was your prediction for Detroit?
12-5. I think I had Minnesota winning the tiebreaker. I think 12-5.
You said 12-5, and who who was winning the tiebreaker?
The show was dedicated to blind Flores, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm gonna say something though. If being on this show for all these years, the NFC East honestly is very unpredictable. Now we're looking at the Eagles like they should win the division, but it is the NFC East. Like this year, they can come in and be like, you know what, we got our Super Bowl. Like seriously, and then next thing you know, the Cowboys won 5 straight. You know what I mean? Or something weird like that. And you're like, who's this team? We didn't think it's a very unpredictable division. I'm being really, really honest. So I'm not even going to hold you.
Yeah.
I like to draw parallels. I like to draw parallels between them and the AFC North because they're two very cannibalistic divisions. Like in the North, somehow the Browns will somehow beat Lamar Jackson, who could possibly be one of the best quarterbacks of all time. How does that happen? Right. And you have the same thing happening on the other side in the AFC in the NFC East. You have that same kind of thing happening where the Eagles have Saquon Barkley and AJ Brown and all these incredible players and this incredible defense, but they're still going to somehow lose to the Giants at one point. Yeah, because they don't know those teams can't prop each other up. They have to. There's one team isn't going to be like drastically better than the other one because even at one point the Steelers last year were like 9-3 and then they ended up losing 7 straight. I'm sorry to bring that up.
A lot of it has to do with that receiver that I love to death that is in Dallas. Deuces. Oh my goodness. I loved it, man, but oh my God, Anyway. Woo. Getting emotional.
But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I had with them. I mean, and it makes sense. And like you said, it's just the division. And like you look at like how we lost to Dallas. Like, we lost we started off, we lost to Pittsburgh, then went to Philly on a Thursday night, and then went back home and lost to Dallas. And a 3-game losing streak. I mean, it's gonna happen. And I think the same thing for Philly is gonna happen too. I mean, they could be beat. Philly could be beat.
Yeah, because
Easily.
Who did they play in the NFC Championship? Wasn't it the Eagles? Didn't that team? I can't
Washington,
remember.
the
I'm sorry.
Commanders, yeah.
No, not the Commanders. The game before that, who did they play?
Oh, the Rams.
The Rams, and then something happened where the Rams had a good chance to almost win, didn't they?
Yeah, well, they had a good shot. Yeah. It snowed like in the second half.
Okay.
Was it overtime?
Yeah. No, it almost did.
It was close to it.
Yeah.
And yeah, Jared, that was your boy, your man Stafford screwed it up because we could have been in LA. We could have been in LA in the NFC Championship game.
Would have been different, huh?
It's a whole lot different.
Right. That's what's up.
A whole lot different.
Good old Afghanistan.
Yeah, hey. Yeah. So Philly, yeah. So yeah, Philly can definitely be beat. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
It's like every team in this league can be defeated. But yeah, why you laughing, X?
Because I'm still stuck on the 12-5. I like the 12-5, but losing the tiebreaker to Minnesota is wow.
Well, okay. This why they said that
the worst team in that division next year.
I doubt.
Yeah. If you really look at the Vikings, like they've been all right almost every year. I don't think they're gonna be the worst. And
I don't think they'll be the worst.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. But it's just
Chicago. Did you see the look in Ben Johnson's eye up 38 with 2 minutes left on a preseason game? That man looking to turn that thing around.
And I do have them at slightly higher because I thought they were a playoff team last year. Honestly, I'm telling you, if it weren't for that Hail Mary, that's what killed them. That's what killed their momentum last year. They were a 4-2 team going to Northwest Stadium in week 8, and everything just went to hell after that game. They're legit, but you still got 3 good teams in the North, and I don't think they're any better than those 3 teams that they have. You still got Detroit, you still got Green Bay, and you still got Minnesota.
I think it's understandable. I mean, they was 15-2 or something like that the year before?
Who, Minnesota?
No. The Lions. What was their record in 2024?
15-2.
15-2.
Right.
15-2.
So you lose 3. You really just losing 3 games because you lost some coaching staff. Blah blah blah. Not just it's a step back. You still win a division, and then from that, you probably next year they'll be able to put some things in there.
And plus, I just want us to get through the season as healthy as possible because
that's what killed y'all last
17 players on IR is insane and unheard of.
Buffalo does not walk into Ford Field and win that game if that's a healthy team.
Well, that's what the Pats said against the Buccaneers.
Shout out the Buccaneers. I love Baker Mayfield.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I feel you.
I have to too. I have to too. Now it's bad. I have to give it.
And like I said, and y'all, Baker Mayfield, when it's all said and done, he needs a statue in Cleveland.
Yeah, please.
Because anytime you beat Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh, that's never gonna happen in our lifetime, ever again in our life. The Cleveland Browns will never ever in their life, I don't care who they got, will ever go to Pittsburgh and win a playoff game.
Our quarterback was Mason Rudolph. That's so wrong, man.
But I don't even hell. You can. I don't care who your quarterback is.
Big Ben was the quarterback in that game.
Ever be.
He got hurt.
No, because that happened. That's recent. That happened like in 2021. No, that might have been.
No, I swear I thought Ben was the quarterback.
He got hurt. He got hurt. You don't remember because it was a big thing where Garrett and Mason Rudolph had got into it.
Man, I swear I feel like Big Ben was the starting quarterback.
Because that happened in 20? Because that was it was before COVID or
That was before COVID.
Yeah,
that was before
that was
COVID.
2000. Yeah.
Then they had
that was in 20. Matter of fact, that was in 2020. That was in 2020, right?
So Ben was the quarterback.
He was hurt.
But anyway, regardless of who was a quarterback, Cleveland Browns will never, ever, ever, ever win a game in Pittsburgh in a playoff game that actually means something. That's never going to happen. Build that man a statue when he retires. I think that's more impressive than going to Oklahoma as a walk-on and win the Heisman. No Cleveland Brown will ever in their lifetime will go to Pittsburgh in a playoff game and beat them. That's like Vanderbilt beating Alabama. You only go see that once in your lifetime. If you're fortunate enough. When last time they won was like in 1960 something, and then what happened last
year, didn't they? Oh yeah. That was an incredible.
Well, I'm saying they won like in the 60s. So you think to yourself, if you're fortunate to be 70-something years old, you've just seen it twice. You ain't gonna never see that again in your lifetime. You might, if you live to be 70, 80 years old, it might happen to you again. But 9 times out of 10, that stuff don't happen.
Well, that's Peso Pavia for you.
Pretty much.
Woo.
Yep.
Love this show.
The legend. But yeah, man. So we'll put a bow on tonight's show. We'll go around the horn. There's pretty much social media, final words, and any social media, anything that you got going on. I'm gonna go with you first, Marcus. What you got?
Yeah, go ahead and follow me on Twitter at Marcus Leary 9. That's where I post a lot of just post a lot of sports stuff on there. And then on Instagram, it's mplary.media. That's where you're gonna find a lot of my a lot more content, just because I'm not a fan of X personally, not the man, the app. And so I just go ahead and follow me there, and then go ahead and Spotify, Apple Podcasts, my own podcast. If you're willing to let me share that, Coach.
Absolutely, yeah. Plug away for sure. Yeah,
the Ram City recap. Now that the school year has started, I can talk about all the games that are actually going on. Men's soccer playing Akron tomorrow, so I'll be covering that on the show. And then I have some player interviews in the that I've already done with some really awesome VCU athletes. So I'm excited to hope you all check it out, and thank you all so much for having me on.
Yeah. All right. Oh, Marcus, you doing the y'all cover volleyball?
So not for the radio. I did play-by-play for a volleyball game one time. It is the single most difficult thing I've ever done in my life, in terms of like my career. It is the fastest moving sport I've ever watched, and doing radio play-by-play for that is nearly impossible. So we're not going to be covering anything on WVCW radio until WVCW Sports, until the black and gold game, VCU versus VCU. I hope they win. And so, yeah.
Do we have a date for that? Like as far as a special date?
I want to say.
I mean, you don't want to say it on live. I mean, you could just.
I'm sure I've gotten an email about it at some point. It usually happens like exactly at the middle of October. So I know my freshman year 2 years ago was October 14th. Last year it was the 12th. So probably somewhere around the 12th to the 16th, we're going to get that game. So, and then again, I'm going to plug one more thing. WVCW Sports on Instagram. That is the club I'm part of. I'm the sports director here at school. That is where a lot of the WVCW sports content is going to happen until I'm able to do play-by-play in October.
And so, yeah. X, what you got?
Oh, I thought Marcus had something else he was about to
I'm
say.
done.
All right. Social media is IG is Game On Image X, and my Twitter/X is X_J_SR, and nothing really going on until week 1 of college football. Just patiently waiting for that.
Yeah. Remember, I gotta tell you something exactly after we get off.
All
All right. All right, what you got, man? What you got, man?
Oh man, great show. Sean Morgan, Facebook DT Morgan 78 Instagram. Hey man, appreciate being here. You know what I'm saying? We almost done. Also, go Akron. Hopefully they win the soccer game.
Shout out to the soccer team. Yeah, shout out to the soccer team doing anything on Sports Backer Stadium.
When is that game? I want to watch that game. When is that game?
Tomorrow at 7.
Tomorrow at 7, and it's televised.
It should be on ESPN Plus.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
I'm from Akron, by the way.
They don't show collegiate soccer on regular ESPN.
Oh, okay.
That's an ESPN Plus thing, especially Atlantic 10 men's soccer.
Cool.
Yeah, right.
Cool.
And Sports Backers. It's still at Sports Backer Stadium, right?
It's still at Sports Backers.
Okay.
Until they knock that ugly monstrosity to the ground.
Yeah, man, they gotta do something with that. That's another one. We'll do a fast chat about that. But,
if you need some VCU info, have me on. I've got way too much to talk about. So
we will. Yes, like I said, we will definitely as the season progresses, and we'll do some VCU centric podcasts. I've already got recruited you, Zach, a few other guys, Adam Cheeks. So yeah, trust me, we're gonna cook something up this winter / fall. So yeah, for sure. Yes, absolutely. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram under Couch Coach Live. Pretty much anywhere you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, we're there. And also check out the website, couchcoachlive.com. And yes, and we will be back. We got a few live shows coming up. We got Ed Lane coming on next week to talk Liberty football. Ed in the fast lane. He does his thing out in the western part of our state. Yeah, I have him. Monday, 7 o'clock, we'll have Danny Lewis, our guy from Virginia Preps. We'll be talking high school football, as next week is the start of high school football season, so we'll do that. We'll have some news on some future stuff going on here on Couches as far as the not college, but high school football is there as well. So let's wrap up episode 360 here on Couch Coach Live, man. And we'll catch you guys next week, next Wednesdays, where we say the script. So pretty much we'll give our awards, and we'll also give our predictions. Who will win Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara? I thought I had my paper right here handy with me, but I already have my Super Bowl champion, and I will reveal it now. I mean, well, not now, but we'll reveal it next week. Matter of fact, yes, this is it right here. So this is my notes from last month. So I already had my Super Bowl prediction a month ago. So we'll reveal that next week, and we'll catch you guys on our next one. And we're out.
You're welcome.
Go Rams.